Let's go live now to Tel Aviv. Major Libby Weiss, spokesperson for the Israeli Defense Forces. Major, thanks for being here. First, if you could, give us an update of where things are logistically and from an IDF perspective tonight.
Well, thank you for having me. The IDF is continuing to dismantle Hamas and Hamas infrastructure in the northern part of the Gaza Strip. At this stage, we have destroyed hundreds of tunnels and are continuing really to hunt Hamas wherever they are in the northern part of the Strip, and to act very precisely within the Shifa hospital, where we continue to uncover Hamas infrastructure and weapons, and really things that have no business being in a hospital in the first place. But we're continuing to do that with the focus on making sure Hamas can never strike us again.
You hear all of the protests, you hear all of the pushback about a humanitarian crisis. Clearly, they're feeling that inside Gaza. You are trying, and I talked to the Israeli Prime Minister about having efforts to get civilians out of the way, trying hard to avoid civilian casualties, and also help them in some of the dire needs that they have. Explain some of that and what's exactly happening.
Absolutely. So we have taken several concrete steps in the last month to minimize the impact on civilians in the Gaza Strip. They are absolutely not our target. We are only striking Hamas. And those measures have included, first and foremost, telling them to move from the northern part of the Strip to the southern part of the Strip. And at this stage, more than 900,000 civilians have moved, and more continue to move every single day. We've dropped more than 1.5 million flyers, made more than 5 million phone calls and text messages, encouraging people to move. And we do this out of a legal obligation, and because we don't want to harm or hurt civilians, despite the fact that this gives Hamas, to a degree, some sort of operational advantage. But we're doing that nonetheless. On a daily basis, we have civilians moving in an evacuation corridor that the IDF is securing, because we have seen in the past that Hamas has actually struck its own civilians who've attempted to move from the northern part of the Strip to the south. So we are securing them in that movement. And we're continuing the supply of humanitarian goods into the Strip. So really, we are the only party in this conflict that has any regard for the welfare of civilians on either side.
Major, I only have a few seconds here, but obviously Hamas, and we've talked about this, tries to keep people in certain areas. They do use human shields. But in the same breath, there have been thousands of Palestinians killed inside of Gaza. Do you have a number on that? What that number is?
I don't have a number to share at this point. I can say, though, that the loss of any civilian life is tragic, and it's not something that we want. And we take several measures to minimize that. And that's something that we carry with us as we fight a horrific terror organization that intentionally targets both civilians here and civilians in the Gaza Strip.
Yeah. Major, we appreciate the time. Thanks for the update.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.